So you were getting lonely, Sue? You need to figure out that vinyl problem so you can cut. Did you check your blade, Sue? To see if anything was stuck with it? I'm sure that you did. I'm pretty sure you went through all the steps. Um, is it a new mat? Was there any trash or anything under it, maybe? Or maybe the star wheel just lifted it up and bunched it up there? You can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Hello, hello. Hey, Joanne. Okay, let me turn up a little bit. Maybe that's it. Can't hear. Okay, let me turn up a little bit here. How is that? Is that better? Hey, Claudia. Hey, Julie. Hey, Karen. Is that better at all? Okay, great, 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 great. I got a new microphone, so maybe I had to adjust the settings on it. It has like a little baffler thing on it, so yay! Okay, Joanne, I have not forgotten about your iPhone template. Um, and I promised I would get it to you yesterday, but I cannot find it. So I've got to redesign it. And I found today my husband had taken his out of his phone that I had made him, and he had hung it up in the garage, and I found it. So I'm going to scan it and clean it up and make an SVG of it for you. And I will do that as soon as the live is finished tonight, and you will have that. I will reload it. As some of you may or may not know, there are... Oh no, Sheila, you got that swirling circle of death. Try to refresh. Maybe that will help. Um, some of the SVGs, I don't know what happened on the site while we were in the process of rearranging and making things look nice and pretty and putting photos on for you guys. And in the midst of that, something happened with the site and doing some of the SVGs. So I'm having to go through thousands and thousands of my SVGs to put up there because, like you guys, I get SVGs from everywhere else too, but the ones I put up there are ones I did. So I have to search through all of those and find them, and some of them I renamed and some I didn't. So if they're not available and you need it immediately, just message me and I will see if I can get to the one you need. But we are still slowly working on the site and it's getting there, and we will have it revamped hopefully by the end of the month. So that being said, that takes care of that. Let's see. Hey Sheila, hi. Is that Stutter from Chicago? Hi Gerald. And we're just a little bit early. We're just chatting away here, making sure everything that anybody has questions, I can go ahead and answer those. Sue, that vinyl issue that you posted, are you sure there was no trash on the back of that vinyl or the mat, or that the star wheels didn't catch it on the edge and bunch it up? I know you know all the normal tricks. Is it a new blade? I don't know. I know you know all the normal things that I know to check. Oh, it was not a new blade. Try replacing the blade and see what it does. But I would go to less pressure. Anytime I do vinyl and I've got a brand new blade, I go to less pressure because I know that it will cut through the backing if I don't. And it just barely kiss cuts the backing, but then you got that paper you have to pick off. Yeah, I got you. I just let me know. We can maybe do a short video on it and see what it's doing. Maybe we can see it from that. Hey, Wanda. Ah, yeah. If it's intricate, the deep cut, I would change to the deep cut and see if it does better. And sometimes designs are just too intricate, but I've never had one. I've cut some pretty small stuff, and usually I can get it with the deep cut. Hey, Deborah. So let's go ahead. We're just talking about things. Hey, Scrap Chef. Some pictures that were posted. Sue had her vinyl. She gave me a picture and it kind of chewed up her vinyl, and we don't know why. It just, like it caught and dragged it off the mat almost. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we've got all of that out of the way. And I thank all of my Patreons. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. I greatly, greatly appreciate you. All right, so I covered that. Though somebody else had a question about sizing when you're grouped and when you're ungrouped. And they weren't able to be here tonight. So I just want to mention, if I wanted to resize this box, I would need to select all of the pieces in this box, and I'm just going to make this smaller so we can see it. You need to select it all and group it. And see, I missed a couple of pieces back there, but I'm not going to worry about it. When you group everything and you size it, then everything moves and it sizes with it. As you notice, now this panel will not fit there because it was not in the group. You don't want to size individually. Trying to size them individually will not make everything fit cohesive. So when you're sizing and you have a lot of items in your project, you need to select everything and then get those sized with that. And I lost my chat. Here we go. There we are. So make sure that when you're trying to size something in a project that you size the entire project, or that will not fit. Hi, Deborah Mason. Welcome. Glad that you could get here. Hi, Lucy. So today we are going to put together this Kleenex box. And this is a cover that goes over the box. There was a request for this from Patricia. And this is on the design tab for the patrons on craftingwithapril.co. So you can get it there. And it's going to go together relatively quick and simple and easy. So let's go over the project camera and put one together. And as always, guys, thanks Wanda. You can ask your design space questions while we are working on the project, and we will answer those. And well, thanks, Deborah. I hope I can continue to inspire you and teach you. I hope that I can with everybody, because that's what I love. Hi, Karen. And don't forget, guys, that I will at random choose somebody that's here tonight to get a gift. I'm giving away a gift tonight, so stay on your toes for that. But we are going to put together this tissue box, and guys, pardon me 1 second. I left my demo in the other room. I'll be right back. I cannot believe I did that. Yes, I can. It's been one of those days. This is the one that I made for a mock-up. And it fits a little loose, but these are not Kleenex brand. I just ran into the drugstore and grabbed a box. But I found a way to fix that if you happen to have an off-brand box that won't fit the Kleenex. All I did was take a Pop Dot and I peeled it off the top and the bottom. Actually, I'm going to do it on this one and show you guys. I just put one right there and peeled off the Pop Dot protector, and I put the box in there, and now it's snug. So this will fit several different boxes. So, and what do you do after you've done that and you want to put in a new fresh box of tissue? Get your Cricut tweezers, go in there and pull that little guy out, and then you can change it and it won't damage your box. So but this should fit all brands of the cube type boxes. Okay, and let's just put one together, and I'm going to take this off to the side. This I got this at Hobby Lobby last year, but I noticed that they did have them this year as well. And the paper that I used on that was, I want to say my mind's eye, but I might be wrong. Simple Stories. I don't know where I got this, guys. Honestly, I think I got it at the at Scrapbook Expo, to be honest. But it's Simple Stories. You could probably still find it online. See if I can get in here and give you guys just Simple Stories paper pad. And that's what I used, the Santa's List paper to make this one. And I thought it would be really cute to have the kids write their names or whatever. If they wanted to write on it, they could. I mean, it's just a tissue cover, right? So something cute, you know, for the kids and old-fashioned Christmas. I do too. I just love the retro and the trucks and the plaid and all that. Love it. Love it. It's my favorite. That's what I do mine in. But I love all Christmas stuff too. So in that file, and I am going to do this with the solid side out. I'm using a double-sided paper. You can use craft cardstock. You can use anything. And the hole may not be the same as the hole from your tissues, and that doesn't matter as long as it's as you can get the tissue through there. That's all that really matters, and this hole is quite big enough. So you're going to take the top, and all of the folds on all of the pieces are all mountain folds or away from you folds, whatever you choose to call it. And you're just going to fold all 4 corner tabs and all 4 sides for the top. And you'll be surprised how really quick this goes together. And then I'm just going to leave it like that. And then instead of putting my glue on this, because the hole is different and I just wanted a decorative top, you can cut the same oval in yours if you want. I believe it was 3.25 by 2.25 was the dimension of the oval. So you just want to resize a circle. But so that I don't get glue there, I'm just going to go around the outer edge right here of that, and then I'm just going to go around the outside edge of my panel. That way I know everything is covered and it's going to stick, and I'm going to line that up and get it centered best I can before my glue stops me. I think that's it. And then you're going to put these panels on the side, on each side. I just think it's easier if the box piece is flat to do this, and you can see to make sure that your sides line up. Makes it a little easier. And I'm not doing the best glue job here. I'm just making sure that it's going to stick and that I'm even. And we are going to cover SCAL. I figured out why I couldn't get, for those of you who were here the last couple of weeks, and my object path and stuff wasn't working, and we figured out why. Well, I did. After I had sent support a question asking, I figured it out on my own. Because not only do you have an object on path, but you have an object to path, and I was confusing the two of them. That's okay, Sue. She's fine. I know she's really, really, really busy. So you've got all your panels on there, and then you're just going to glue each tab here. And I'm just going to put some glue on each one of all 4 tabs. And we're going to glue those to the inside, guys. Don't want to glue them over your panels. Make sure you keep it square. Really cute, fun, simple. You can ink the edges, emboss your panels. There are so many possibilities with this because I don't know about you guys, but I don't care what brand of Kleenex I buy. I don't care where I get them from. They always have cute, pretty boxes. I love this little mermaid. But does it match anything in my house? Nope. I can never find one that matches my decor for the room that I'm going to put the tissues in, ever. Yeah, it's almost like the bottom of an ornament box, so you're right. It's very simple, very easy to put together. And then you have these 2 rectangle pieces, and there are 2 scores on those. Again, those are mountain folds, or away from you, whichever you prefer to call it. And you're going to fold both of those exactly the same. And you can use your bone folder and all of that if you want. Make sure you get good crisp corners and things like that. And then just glue. Don't go past your score, of course. And then you're going to glue these 2 together. Right up to the score line. And you can put your panels on here now. And guys, it's going to look a little strange, I know, because this panel doesn't go all the way up to the top. And I figured, why waste your pretty paper, because this is going to be out of your pattern paper, when the lid is just going to cover that. So I did it, and you're just going to have to judge. And I didn't square that up, did I? That was my gluing error, guys, not the file. If that happens to you, just kind of trim it off, make it look nice. So, I just didn't want to waste, I mean, I know it doesn't seem like much. You can stretch that panel if you want to, but it's just going to make the lid fit a little bit tighter is all. And if that's what you want, you can. But I like to save every little scrap of paper that I can, especially this. This is my favorite. And just give it about the same amount down at the bottom as you have on your lid here. And let's go ahead and put one. And I like doing this flat for the same reason, because I can try to keep them even before my glue sticks. I'm probably off anyway, but oh well. I'm always off, right? Make sure you get your edges and corners and all that good on this. And these are really pretty if you emboss them and ink the edges. And you can even ink the edges of your box all along the edges, as well as your panels. Ink all of it. Make it really pretty and festive for the holidays. I clogged my glue. I probably need to really clean that tip, even though I've got, it's an old one. That's good enough. But I'm just placing all of my panels onto the box. This tip has been on here about 8 months, so it's probably good and clogged by now. And then you're just going to glue this edge and form a box. Of course, you want to make sure it's square. So there you have that. Next, you're going to take this piece here, determine what you want as the front. And I have lots of pretty flowers on all of these except this one. So I'm going to make this my front. And these are the pieces that are in the file. And then I took the, I stamped and made a boo-boo on my stamp. So the piece that came out of the lid actually went on here. So you'll have an extra panel that you can use for another project. And I forgot I had the tip off of that. But just determine which side is going to be. I think I'll turn it this way and put some pink at the top. Which is going to be your front, and put your little panel on there. And I should have waited. I forgot to see. I want to make sure I center it after I put the lid on. Then take your lid and just run a bead of glue either inside the lid or around this top, all the way around. You don't need much, just a little bit of glue. And determine which way you want this to go. Pop it on and go inside and press it down on all 4 sides. That's it. You're done. Yes, it would make a cute gift, get well gift. It really would. And then, of course, you're just going to slide the tissue right over And again, if it slips or slides or any of that, just a pop dot. You can use a big one, a little one, doesn't matter. Pop one down on the bottom of your box and take the cover off and press it down and you're good to go. And now your tissue won't fall out when they pick it up. Yeah, it's really quick. It took all of about maybe 3 minutes for this to cut because it's all straight cuts except that little fancy cut at the top, and you can contour that out and change it to whatever you want. And you can stamp sentiments on the front of these. I mean, just there, it's just endless possibilities. You can make it match the holidays, make it match your home, whatever room it's going to be in. What about even making it a card, guys? What if somebody's in the hospital and you want to take them a little something? You know, because sometimes they don't want you to take them food or give them anything that they're not supposed to have. But you could take something like this and put "Get Well" on it, put some flowers on it, all sorts of things. And let that be the card that sits right on their table. And every time they need a tissue, they're going to think about you for bringing that to them. And I'm just reading some comments just to see if you guys, let's see, cute gift, yes. And this is the Cricut design paper right here. This is, don't pay attention to my dirty mat here. I've got all my scraps in here. This is the Deluxe Paper Rose Medley. This is the Anna Griffin Rose Medley. Yeah, because this, it actually takes 2 sheets of paper, but it's really 1 and a scrap, because this piece, this top lid piece, cuts out of a different, it won't fit on the same mat. So you have some scrap from each color. I mean, that's all I used out of this sheet, was just that. So you can get, you know, it's just because of the shape and the size, but you'll have plenty of scraps to use for other projects. It won't go to waste, and it takes 2 for the base. Yeah, 2 for the base. So if you do these in craft paper, I mean, it's just pennies to make it. And I love the craft paper look, especially for the holidays. You could do that Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You can go with something brighter, or the greens and stuff for the spring and summer. Yeah, baby girl, you can do some of that for your patients at the hospital. Some words of encouragement on it. I mean, use your stamp sets, use your embossing folders, make it really special. It takes seconds to emboss those panels, and they're going to think that you spent hours on it, and it actually only takes a few minutes. So, and they will love that. And you can even actually probably make one of these panels into a card where it folds out on it. That way you have a fold out on it for something for them to read if you want. Use a little Velcro dot to keep it shut. Yeah, chalkboard, that would be great too. Give it that chalkboard look. Tons of stuff, guys. Tons of stuff you can do. You could even use the chalkboard vinyl and stick a piece of vinyl on there that they could actually write on, and it could be wiped off and changed. So the chalkboard vinyl would be great as panels on those, especially for a teacher. She could do a different message every day on her little vinyl. Hey, Debbie. Yeah, Claudia, there's so much you guys can do. The possibilities of this little box totally endless. Totally endless. You could put pearls on them and bling them up with rhinestones. There's just tons of possibility. Do I have a template for the dinner napkins? You mean the flat square box? I can do one. Stacy, if you want to send me a photo about what you're looking for, I'll make a file for it. Right, because teachers always use tissues. You could make a little box to go on the side of this guy. So you cut a hole in your panel and then put the little box piece on the side of it and put your panel over it to put a little hand sanitizer in. How cute would that be? Instead of doing a decorative panel, put a little pop-out box on there for a hand sanitizer. So does anybody else have any other Design Space questions? Let's pop back over there. If I can get my mouse to work for me. I did not do these in SCAL. I did those in Design Space. And it is uploaded. The file for this is uploaded on the Design tab. Hey, Tara. Yeah, I can do you guys another box if you want for the other size, as long as it'll fit on 12 by 12 paper. That's not a big deal. I'll have to get a box and measure it to make sure that I'm making it the right size for you guys. But yeah, anytime that you guys have something that you're looking for and you can't find, if you want to shoot me a picture on Messenger, that's exactly what Patricia did. She said, I want to make this and I don't have a file. I can't find a file. So I made her one and I said, we'll just do it on Monday's project and I'll show you how it goes together. So anytime that you have something that you're looking for, if I can't do it, I'll tell you I can't do it. It's beyond my scope or whatever. But if it's something like this, boxes are easy for me for some reason. I don't know. They're complicated for others. I mean, we all have our specialties and places where we excel, and I think boxes is my forte there. This cannot be sized to fit a rectangle box. I would have to do a separate file, Lucy. It just won't size right. The sides and the size and all of that won't, the lid won't size correctly, and the height, it will skew. But I can make one to fit. The sides are nothing. We just chop those down in half or whatever. We can resize those with no problem. But when you come to sizing the lid and the tabs and all that, they begin to skew and they don't work right. Oh, thanks, Sue. So, and let's see. Did Claire make it in? I didn't get to see. I was checking chat. Claudia's here. So I am going to close my eyes and find somebody. Karen Nelson, are you still here? Looking for Karen Nelson. Karen, if you're here, shout at me. Let's go ahead and switch over to Sure Cuts a Lot. There it is. Let me get rid of this guy. Sheila is still here. Did you stop getting the circle of death, Sheila? Yeah, Debbie, that would be cute to put some little feathers on the back for a turkey. I think that would be so cute. The kids would love it, you know. You do kids' tables and kids' crafts. I love to see those at Thanksgiving. Good. Okay. I hope I can still see. I'm going to move my chat over. I hope I don't make you guys see sick on the screen there. I'm going to move it over out of the way so that we can concentrate on this SCAL. You made your first one, Kathy, and I know last 2 months ago I made my first one from total scratch, and I was so proud of it. It's an accomplishment. What did you make? I made one of those little treat purses, one of the little bitty ones. I thought it was so cute. But anyway, when I was trying to show you guys, and I closed my library, didn't I? Let's go ahead. I'm gonna get an oval, and I'm going to get a circle. Oh shoot, I might even get, I don't know, an octagon. We'll just work with the circle and the oval for now. So I've got my shapes. I'm going to close that out. And we're hearing shortcuts a lot. And I'm holding my shift key. And you want to hold your shift key when you resize so that it keeps proportions. Because even though it's got keep proportions over here, if you don't, you can see what happens. It's not a perfect circle. So you want to make sure that you do that if you want to keep that shape. I'm just going to size that oval too. I'm just going to bring it to the side. And I was trying to show you guys. Hi, Jamie. She made it. She made it. You use the shadow and the canned effect. Yeah, I love the effects. I love doing the text. It makes it so easy. But I'm fixing to take you up another level, Kathy, because this is going to be so easy. Frames are really easier than what you think that they are. And you see all of these sites that have free frames and stuff like that. They're super simple to make so that anybody can do it. I am going to go to trace, and I already had an image that I hope I can find it. Let's see. Well, here's the one that I did the other day. We could use that one. There it is. There's my candy cane. And I'm going to bring that candy cane in. And I really don't care about the colors and stuff. We're just using it as a shape. So I'm just going to say, okay. I'm not going to go through all of that today. And I'm going to bring that over. Okay. And here is where I was messing up, guys. I was going up to path, and I was selecting object to path. And that really was not, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to hide that oval for now. I have my circle here, and I have the candy cane on top. You want to make sure that that is on the top first of all. And I had it that way, and I was doing that, and I was coming up here and going to object to path, and it wasn't really doing anything. And I kept doing it, and I'm like, I'm doing what they're telling me to do, and it's not working. Hi, Ivy. So, after I had emailed support, I started looking and reading into, I did find an in-depth SCAL PDF with all the instructions of all the functions. Anybody who needs that, message me, or either I'll put it in the group files. So just let me know and I will get it to you. But it's in depth. It covers everything, every section, every tool, and what everything does and how to use it. So when I got to looking at that and I read it the second time, I noticed that when you come up to effects, if you look down here, there's an object on path. So you have object to path and object on path. Okay? This is the one you want for frames. It's in the effects tool menu. So you're going to click on object on path, and when you do, you get this pop-up. And I am just going to say, you can start your offset at whatever. I'm not really familiar about what it does, but I think it's how far away from the circle. I could be wrong, but I think that that's what it's doing. And then you can choose a count. And I am just going to fill the path length and watch what happens. Boom. Frame, done. Just going to say okay. Going to come over here, take away the circle, and select it all, and then you can group it. Now this is set for print and cut because it was a PNG, but how easy was that to make a frame? Let me undo that and come back and go to the effects menu. You couldn't change, yeah, Karita jumped in there. She got there before I did. You always use your palette. And in case some of you don't know, this little box up here in the top right corner of these blue bars, if you click on them, well, I say if you click on them, it will pop them out. It's supposed to pop them out. Oh, it is. I apologize. It's popping them out on my main screen. Let me come back over here and grab it for you guys. It will pop them out so that you can position them and keep them all unlayered so that you can use all of that at one time. And that way you can leave it on the palette and still have your size and position here and have everything where you want it. And then you have your tools set right here for you. So that will help you when you're choosing color and stuff. So that's what those little boxes do. And if you click on them again, it's going to put them back over here. But let's select both of those and go to our effects, object on a path, and I'm going to fill the path length, but let's control the spacing. Let's say I want them 0.40 apart. Let's put auto preview. Look how close it put those. So I can move that up or down to create different effects, different types of different types of frames. And yeah, you could flatten this just like this and use that for a frame. I mean, that would be a beautiful print and cut frame. You can do your alignment to the bottom of your circle, make it bigger. You can align it to the top and bring it inside. And then, of course, back to the middle. If you want to crop it to the outside, you can do that. And it does that to it. Takes everything on the outside of the circle out. Let's go back to none. I want to bring that, but everything on the outside of my circle, it cropped it out. You can do an offset and make it bigger than your. Tons of things you can do with this, and you can use just about any image to do this with, guys, and any shape. So let's go, and there's also, let me go back to that spacing. Let's bring that back to 0. I'm trying not to crash my, so see how I spread them all out? There's tons of different things that you can do. Let's go and get that oval that I hid over here. And slide it back over if I can get it to select. Okay, more than one way. I think I froze my SCAL, guys. Yes, to do more creative things, Lucy, that's what it's for. You can make shadow layers. It complements design space. It enhances what we already have. I may have to do a new project to get that. Okay, let me grab an oval, and I'm going to grab a heart too. How about, there's an apple. Let's grab an apple. So you can do all sorts of things. If you have, before we get into this, somebody was mentioning the text, because I will forget it. You can click on text and type in your words. You can choose the color of them. You can choose your font. You can also preview the text. You have to go to your selection tool. It has to be selected, and then come in here to font preview, and then you can preview your text in all of your fonts and say I want that one, and I can just change it to that. So you can, there are tons of things you can do. Yeah, if you click too many times, it'll do that. That's what I was trying to avoid, and I did it anyway. To add a shadow layer, say you need a shadow layer for whatever reason, it's as simple as selecting your text, clicking on Appearance, add a shadow layer. Let me make this a color you guys can see it. And then you tell it how big you want that shadow layer, if you want it to black out, how, you know, whatever it is you want that shadow layer to do. So it's very simple, very easy to do. You can round it, and you see how it gave that a more rounded appearance, or you can leave it straight. Oops, my computer didn't like that. Or you can just leave your basic shadow, and see how it has those points on there. I kind of like the rounded better myself for that font. It's going to depend on your font. Yeah, you can't ask for an easier tool, Jamie, to make a shadow layer for anything, including an object. If you need a, oops, that's why. If you need a shadow layer for a image, click on it, create that shadow layer, and make it whatever size you need it to be for that shadow layer on any object. Just super, super simple. It is a game changer. And we will probably get some of those tools as they progress with Design Space. But I like the fact that they are keeping Design Space pretty good and simple for people who aren't computer savvy. And I think that's great because that doesn't exclude those crafters. To me, I don't like the silhouette simply because I find the software confusing. Now that I've played around in SCAL, I probably wouldn't find it as confusing, but I still prefer the Cricut machine over that machine. So, I mean, there are tons of things that you can do, and everybody's going to have their own different machine preference. Some of you like the scan and cut. Some of you have the scan and cut and the Cricut. Some of you have a silhouette and a Cricut. This software allows you to be able to create whatever you want and use it in both machines, programs. So that's the beauty of this. I can create whatever I want right here, and I can use it on my Cricut, my scan and cut, my silhouette, whatever. I can use it. They use this program with commercial cutters. Some of them do. So it's very easy and simple to use. But again, any object, any shape, you can select this, go to the effects, do your object on a path, do auto preview, and you can do a count and tell it that you want how many hearts you want, or you can fill the path length, which is the size of your oval. You can figure out your spacing. You may not want that many hearts. You may just want it like that. You can do your offset, and that's what the offset does, guys. It moves it so that you can space it. Like I want these two hearts to be kind of even, and that's what that's going to do, so that you can get that on your frame like you want it. Correct. It doesn't require internet. You do need internet to upload it because this is a standalone program. You're going to install the program and you can work out the program without internet. Is this software something you can draw an image? Stacy, yes. Right here you have your drawing tools. Let me cancel this. But you guys get the alignment, the object on a path now. You can reverse your path order. Everything's in here. You can warp it. Look how it warped that and did it really weird. So, you can warp the hearts. There's just tons of things you can do. So, that's what this week is about. You guys who have SCAL and you're playing and you're trying to learn, go and play and make some frames. And here's the challenge. If you make frames and you want to post them for patrons, I will put them, or either public, I will put them in the SVG file on my website for you so that you can share it with your friends. So they don't have to be patrons. I will put it on the SVG. So any frames that you create and you want to put in there, if it's just simple dots, I don't care. If you make the frames and you want them posted, you can zip the file up and send it to me, and I will put it up and put your name with it as the creator. Which you can also do in here, guys. There is your project info, and you can put the title of it. You can name it, put your name in there, your email, and if you have a website, you can put that in there, and that way they know you created that SVG. You can't get the text preview to show up because it's grayed out. Okay, Paul, I had the same problem, and they have determined if you are on a Mac and you have it set to dark mode, it's going to be dark. Mine was grayed out as well. That's what the problem is there. Other than that, if you select, oops, got off on my SCAL. How did I do that? Let me bring it back up, guys. Sorry about that. It shifted on me. Let me minimize that and open it back up. You're on a PC. Okay, let me bring my SCAL back up. It crashed. I have been clicking way too much. Okay, let's slide this guy back over so you can see it. Okay, if you have text, let's go to text so you can follow along. You have to have your text in there. You have to go back and hit select, and it has to be highlighted. And let me just show you. I'm coming up here to text, and this is all grayed out. But if I select it and go to text, then my font preview and my fonts are all here. If this is dark, your computer is set on dark mode, because mine was blacked out and I couldn't see it until I scrolled over something. And then the font preview, mine would not pop up. And I couldn't figure out why it wasn't popping up. I rebooted. I closed out my SCAL and rebooted and came back in. And just so you guys know, if you're coming up here to help and you're hitting check for updates, they have it grayed out now. Before, I was clicking on check for updates, and I thought it was saying, and it would pop up that you're up to date. Well, I wasn't. I was in 5.00 version. The new version is 5.009, and you have to go to SCAL and update from there. That's the only way you can update. You have to put in your serial number and update. So just make sure that you have taken your selection, Paula, off of the text tool, and you're on select, and it is selected, because if you do not have it selected, you can't do anything with it. And I evidently have a box somewhere showing. Not there. Let me check my other screen, guys. I have a box that's not allowing me to type anything in. Shortcuts a lot. It doesn't want to let me. And I see nothing. Oh, there it is. So that's the reason why you wouldn't get that. And again, guys, I'm still learning this. You just left the okay, yeah. You have to select it. You have to be on that selection tool, and it has to be selected. But for drawing tools, you have your pencil here and you can draw. And then you can go to the nodes tool and you can correct it and change it up and fix the nodes and all of that and stretch it, change the shape. But yeah, you can draw. You have your knife here. You have a stencil. Your eraser. So if you wanted to erase something out of what you drew, you can erase that. You have the paintbrush where you can draw with that as well and paint. You have the pen. So you can do lots of things to draw. How about a harp? I'm getting close. It looks more like a Star Trek emblem. But you get the idea. I can hold your hand. What am I doing? Okay, who did I call out a while ago? See, I'm even lost. Who did I call? Was it Karen Nelson that I called? Did Karen leave us? Shoot. And you have to be present. Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to pick. Let's see. Pick somebody who got a good question in there. Question or suggestion. Baby girl, are you still here? Is baby girl still here? Or Nancy W? Does anybody else have any more questions on that? The snot comment? Who did that one, Sue? Nancy W, yay! Nancy, you get a free gift. I have to scroll back and read that. Nancy, if you are not a Patreon supporter, I need you to go to the Facebook group or either my website and message me your address, your shipping address. And if you are a patron, I need to know your last name so that I can look it up. So Nancy W is our winner this week. Bonnie, you have a good night. Thank you. So if you need it, Nancy, there is the website address. You can use the contact form and send me your address if you're not a Patreon. Does anybody have any more questions on the SCAL? Oops, let me make this smaller so I can see you guys. So I can see chat. Well, baby girl, you came back. Nancy claimed it first. I don't know how to get off the pen. There we go. But yeah, you've got all these lines and things. You can draw. You can do tons of stuff in there. Aw. Well, I'll tell you what, baby girl, since I picked both of you, you can send me your address too. If you're a patron, I can look it up, but I need your real name. But use the web address above, and I will just do 2 this week. I will do baby girl and Nancy. You both get a gift this week. You were trying to erase something from an image you uploaded and it wasn't working. Okay, let me show you how to do that. Let's see. Let me grab an image real quick. Let's see. Okay, I have an image. Okay, Jamie, have a good night. Actually, let me get one that has the actual. Let me just do maybe Mickey Mouse. We'll have one. Images. There we go. I knew I could find one that had something on it. I'm going to download that image. You're welcome, Jamie. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go to trace. And again, guys, when you trace an image, those are for your personal use only. They are not for you to sell to other people and things like that. You can get into huge trouble for that. I know they do it on Etsy. They will get caught. They get caught every day. It just sometimes takes a little time, but they do get caught. They do get fined. So make sure that when you're doing images like this, that you're using those for your personal use. If you're looking for something royalty-free or copyright-free, you need to search for it that way. You need to type in royalty-free ballerina clip art and search that. That way what you're searching and you're looking for, you know you're looking for on royalty-free, copyright-free sites. Because if you just type ballerina in there, it could be subject to copyright. So just be aware if you're selling SVGs that you do not create an SVG and sell it with a copyrighted image in it. Or that you create your own right here in SCAL by drawing it. So let's choose the image, and there's my Mickey, and I'm going to select him, and I'm not going to worry about colors. That's not what we're working on today, because you can go up to 240 colors, and we've already covered that, and each color is a layer. So I'm just going to say okay, and I know he looks kind of goofy. I didn't get anything, but you see all this writing in here? Let me make this manageable down to 6 inches. There we go. You see all that extra writing and stuff, and you don't want that in your SVG or a trademark. You don't want to cut that. You just want to cut maybe the Mickey ears. You're going to click on this eraser. And this one stays wherever it was the last time you used it. You have to size it. I think the default is 0.10, and you see how small it is? You can't even see that eraser. So it allows you to get some really detailed work, or you can even change it to a square. And then you can bring it up to size to make short work of it. And then you just come in here, and you have to hold your left mouse button down, because if you didn't and you moved your mouse, you'd be erasing things that you needed. So if you hold that button down and go along that outer edge, you can erase that from your image and then go back to select. And now when you select it, you see how that box is just around my image. It's not around all that gobbledygook that was in there. And yes, gobbledygook is a word. If it's not, it should be. So did that kind of clarify all of that for everybody? I think we covered quite a bit for SCAL tonight. So go and try and work with these tools, and next week we will work on Design Space again, any Design Space questions, and we'll figure out a new tool in, yeah, that's it. See, it's 2 words. Okay, technically 2 words. But go in and play and work with your text on a path and zip up those frames that you make and tag them up there in the window, or right here in the help. Let's see. Now support is there, and check for updates. That doesn't work, guys. Trust me. Your project info under window, that's where you're going to put in the title. You're going to name it, put all that stuff in there, and I will put it up on the site if you want to share it. You didn't use the trace. Okay, it should still work, Kathy. Even if you go into the library and say grab this heart. I have this heart here, and let's say I wanted half of the heart. Let's say I just wanted half of it. I'm going to get my eraser, and I'm just going to bring it down through half and get rid of the rest of it. So it's going to work the same. It should work. The only reason that I could find that it may not work is you may have been frozen. Yes, please hit the thumbs up, guys. Please. I have a stalker who's running through and doing thumbs downs on all my videos. So I need those thumbs up. All right, guys, I appreciate you joining me tonight. If you have any questions that we didn't answer and they cannot wait till next week, you know the drill. Go to the groups or message me and put those in, and I will be happy to help you out. And that's what it's all about, Lucy. You guys are absolutely wonderful. So let me go ahead and thank everybody and thank my moderators. And you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Monday.